Alright, well for this hands-free mentalism card trick tutorial, before I get into it, I just strongly recommend that you watch the effect description, which I'll leave a link to on the screen. If you don't see it on the screen, I'll leave it in the description box. It's important that you get some sort of background of what I'm about to explain here. So anyways, I'll get right into it, assuming you've watched the other video now. What you're going to do is, it's important that you just casually display the deck, just to show the spectator the obvious mix of cards that they'll see, and just so that they have a sort of sense of a regular deck of mixed cards. And you're going to just set it face down on the table and say that you're never going to touch the deck from here on out, and it's important that you leave it face up, and I'll tell you why in a moment. There are two key things, two factors in your instruction that will make this trick work. You're going to force a particular suit based on the random total they give you between 10 and 40, and you're also going to be able to instruct the spectator to deal from whatever end of the deck based on, again, their random total. It's important that you start out having the deck face up, so that if you need to deal from the face up side of the deck, it will just seem natural to start the dealing the way the deck is left resting. And if they need to deal from the face down portion of the deck, you can just simply, like you saw in the effect video, just instruct the spectator to just turn the deck over carefully, and so that the deck is resting in its natural position, which they'll readily agree that, it would seem natural to deal from a face down deck of cards. We'll move on to figuring out now, how do we know what suit we're going to force based on their total, and again, from what end of the deck we're going to deal from. We'll get into the calculator bit here. Let's just cancel that last bit I left there. You're going to, of course, instruct the spectator to deal single-digit numbers, multiply them each in turn, so that they have a large digit answer, somewhere between 1,000,000 and 1,000,000,000, about 10 or 12 digits, somewhere around there. Okay, so have them multiply multiple numbers 4 times 5 times 6, 8 times 3 times 5 times 8 times 2 times 6 times 4 times 2 times 7. Now I have to credit Singing Banana for this calculator principle, just an amazing principle. This is what inspired me, of course, to create this card effect around. I'll leave a link to Singing Banana's video that I found this principle from in the description box, so you can see that. So what we need to do at this point is we're going to have the spectator, of course, memorize any digit in their answer, and it has to be an actual value, not a zero that they memorize. Okay, zeros won't work because they just have no value, of course. Have them actually think of an actual value, any one of the digits. Let's just say for this example they're going to think of the 2. Okay, now you're going to have them call out the remaining digits in any order, as long as they call out carefully all the digits. So in this case, of course, they're going to call out the 5, 5, 9, and 6, and the 2 zeros, which aren't really important, but anyways, they'll call them all out. And what you're going to do is total them on a piece of paper in view. So let's grab a piece of paper here, and let's just total those numbers. That's what, 5 plus 5 is 10. We're skipping the 2, of course, because they're memorizing that. Plus 9, that's 19, and plus 6, that's what is that, 25? Okay, so we're going to write 25. We're going to keep that number in view, and now what you're going to do is you're going to need to work out their secret number that they're thinking of, and this is going to cue you into what suit you're going to not only what suit you're going to force, but on what end of the deck you're going to deal from. So to work out their secret value, you simply just count secretly in your mind as you're writing the number down. Just take your time, and you can just kind of work this out, you'll find, quite easily. You're just going to count up, always count up from the random total to the next multiple of 9 after this number, or whatever number they give you. Okay, so the only 4 key multiples of 9 you're going to be using for these random numbers, it's important that they're between 10 and 40, is one of these 4 key multiples of 9, 18, 27, 36, and 45. Okay, I should mention too that the reasoning behind the number selection between 10 and 40, just as your excuse, you're going to say you want to arrive at a card that's somewhere relatively deep in the deck, not too close to the ends of the deck. Okay, so we need a number that's between 10 and 40. Okay, so back to what I wanted to say about these multiples of 9. These are going to be the key numbers you're going to need to work out their random value that they're thinking of. And also it's going to cue you into what suit you're going to use. And as you can see, I have them in chased order: clubs for the 18, hearts for the 27, or spades for the 36, and diamonds for 45. So whatever number you happen to count up to, or whatever multiple of 9 you happen to count up to, that's going to clue you into what suit you're going to force on the spectator. Okay, so we work out 25, count up to the next multiple of 9, of course, would be 27 in this case. So that tells us 2 would be their secret value. Right away we would know that, because 2 is obviously what you need to add up to the next multiple of 9, 27 in this case, after 25. Okay, so that's how you figure out the value. Now of course they have no idea that you already know their value, and you're already going to know what suit you're going to force on them, because it worked out that 27 was the multiple of 9 you had to count up to. So you know in chased order that 27 is in the second position, representing the heart. Okay, so in your mind you're going to say to yourself, okay, I have to force the heart for 2. And to do this is very easy, because again the spectator doesn't know you know their value. You simply call out on your fingers like you saw in the effect, which, by the way, I use this sort of style of selecting suits randomly on counting on fingers. From some of you may recognize Ben Harris's silent running effect. I just want to make it clear, I'm not giving away any secrets about silent running. I just was inspired to use Ben Harris's style of selecting a suit on fingers. I just thought it was just a readily easy way of selecting a suit. Although I have another alternate way of doing that, which I'll tell you at the end of the video, which you might find even better, because it adds a little more randomness to it. But anyways, we'll just use the finger thing for now for this explanation. So we're going to force the heart, of course, because the multiple of 9 was 27 that we used to figure out the value, heart being 27. So we're going to call out suits and make sure that we call heart on the second finger, right? Okay, so the rest of the fingers can just be random, of course, so we just call it, say, club, heart, spade, diamond, spade, club, heart, spade, diamond, heart, something like that. So the spectator, of course, looking out for their secret number on the second finger, sees that you called out a heart. So of course they're going to be thinking heart, and you tell them again that there's no way you could know what suit they're thinking of, obviously, because you don't know what number they're thinking of, but they don't know that, of course. And now you have them combine that suit with their secret number, so they have a secret random card in their mind, 2 of hearts in this case. And now we move on to counting down to their total to arrive at their secret thought of card. Now before you do this, if you wanted, you could even since you know their card is the 2 of hearts, you could play, do a little psychic routine before you actually reveal the card in the deck, and just pick up on their card and verbally reveal their 2 of hearts, and then move on to the second revelation of actually showing the card appearing at the 25th position in the deck. Now, how do you know what side of the deck you're going to deal from? Very easily, you'll readily know, because you know the value of their card. If their value is an even value, you just deal from the face-up deck. Always even values, you deal from the face-up deck. The odd-valued cards, you deal from the face-down deck. And of course, again, you simply just instruct the spectator to just carefully turn the deck over. You don't touch the deck, of course. You never want to touch the deck. This is hands-free, like I said. Instruct the spectator to turn the deck over to have the deck rest in the natural position, the natural face down position, before we count. So that would make sense too, okay? But in this case, since their value of course is 2, being even, we're going to deal from how the deck is already resting on the table. So when we deal to 25, you'll see that we'll arrive at the 2 of hearts. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, the 2 of hearts. And as you see, they can deal through, and all the cards look all random. Doesn't look like there's any particular pattern or setup to arrive at the cards, so this will really add to the power of the effect. That's why it's important also when you're dealing the cards from the face down deck, I recommend that you have them deal each card in turn face up so they can see the randomness of the cards as they deal to their card, okay? So that's basically how the trick works. Now there's a couple exceptions that you need to remember, which I'll write in the description box so you can read this and remember this and you don't have to keep referring to the video. Just a couple exceptions. Now for the values, just remember that 1, 4, and 7 you have to change the suits on. So when you assign the suits based on the key multiples of 9, all you're going to do is change the suits to the direct opposite suit just for these key values that you work out, 1, 4, and 7, okay? And you can remember those values also because 1, 4, and 7 are the only values that have straight lines in the design of their numbers. The other numbers have a curvature in the design somewhere, like the 6, 8, 9, the 2, and the 3 all have some kind of curvature in it, okay? 1, 4, and 7, or ace 4 and 7 will all have just straight lines, okay? That's how you can remember that. So just remember when you work out the value when you worked out the suit to go with the value, remember to recognize the 1, 4, 7 to change it to the opposite suit. Now what is the opposite suit? Well, the opposite suit for the club in this case, being the club is a minor black suit. Now you know what I mean by minor suits or major suits. The minor suits are the clubs and diamonds, the major suits are the hearts and spades. So you're going to do the direct opposite. So the minor black club, you're going to change to the major red suit, which is the heart, of course, okay? Like for the heart, if you're going to change it to its opposite, being a heart being a major red suit, you're going to change to the minor black suit club, okay? And as an example, just to further explain, the major black suit spade, you're going to change it to its direct opposite, the minor red suit diamond, okay? Makes sense? So you're just going to do those changes in your mind just for those 3 key values. One more other exception you need to remember is just these 2 cards that you may end up working out to force, the 8 of spades and the 9 of diamonds. When you have to add a spade to an 8 or a diamond to a 9, it'll be with these totals, 28 or 36. The random totals will come up 28 or 36 for these 2 particular cards. The only thing you need to remember about these 2 cards is where to deal from the deck. You're not going to be dealing from the even side of the deck for the 8 or the odd side of the deck for the 9 of diamonds. You're going to be simply dealing the opposite sides of the deck, okay? It's just for those 2 cards. You know, I think that should be fairly easy to remember. So I'll write those little details in the description. And that's about it. Now I just want to add one more thing. Like I said, I was going to show you an alternate way of forcing the suit. What you could do is you could just write down, since you're writing down the total anyways on the piece of paper, you could move on to writing down random suits in a row. And what you do, let's say you want to force the third suit of club, let's say. So you just write, you know, like heart, diamond, club, make sure that's the third suit in, and then keep writing random suits, but say diamonds, spade, heart, and then you'd write club again, but make sure you write 2 more suits, so that random suits, so let's say heart and spade, so that it gives the option for the spectator to choose from either end. You can instruct them to choose from either end to count to their random suit using their secret number. So it seems even more random, more of a random choice to come up with a random suit. You see what I'm saying? So they're thinking of 3, so when you tell them to count from either end, when they count from, let's say, this end, of course they'll arrive at 1, 2, 3 at this club, or they'll arrive at 1, 2, 3 at the other club at the other end. So they'll have no choice, but they'll be forced to choose a club either way. So anyways, that's just another alternate way I thought you could do it. I think the finger way is fine in itself, but this is just another option I wanted to share. So anyways, I hope you can use this effect, and I hope I didn't overwhelm you too much with the details of how this works, but I think it's a very easy trick once you really understand. It's really simple to perform. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that,